Right, welcome back. We are just about to enter the next stage. So in the next few years, that should be happening. I'm just going to start the game again. I can't quite remember exactly what I was doing last time. It's been a few days now. But we'll just start things, and I'm sure that will jog my memory quickly enough. Academia Pontania delights the world. The Academia Pontania, initially known as the Academia Antoniana, serves as a learning society for scholars and humanists from where the knowledge that enriches our nation is born. This academy and its vice members will make everyone look at us now. Let's do this, get a bit of a cultural tradition and influence. That's been lacking behind somewhat, so that's a good idea. Our Chancellor reports Anglicanism, a new heresy of Christianity. Clearly these are the people who do not understand that the only true faith is Lutheranism. We do have a slight hitch in our governance. We did lose the last king without an heir. So we ended up with this fellow on the throne, and you can quite tell he's horrific. No, he's good at the warfare and everything related to that, so while we're still integrating provinces and working on rebels, this will be good. Anything beyond that, just a mess. So it kind of makes me yearn for Crusader Kings, where I can maybe make him have an accident or something. You know, and maybe one of his children can take over at that point. He does have this though, zealots, which helps with conversing the population, which is actually quite good for us. At this time, at least. Let me have a quick look here. I actually want to turn off a thingamajig on my side here. There we go. Okay. So make sure that's still working though. Okay, fine. Yeah, I was just turning off the voice monitoring because it does echo back whatever I say like a fraction of a second later, so it's a bit distracting. And I'm just going to turn on music a little bit as well, so it's more in the background. Okay. Maybe I should slow it down just a smidgen while I'm figuring things out again. I did have some plans, I'm sure I did. Yeah, so this little slice, I remember wanting to grab that at some point. I wanted to get trade started down here. Did have some ideas about sending out some more explorations. Yeah, let's have a quick look here if there's something we need to worry about. Maybe if you just get rebels, the list itself gives a quick overview. I think it's here maybe. People, rebels. Yeah, so I'm more mainly look at the numbers, right? So the Orthodox ones are the main problem area. But that's all kind of being improved as I'm slowly kind of taking over and you know, converting all these areas that I captured prior. Right. But the Catholics, yeah. That makes sense though, because if we just changed to Lutheranism, or Lutheranism, Lutheran, whichever one it is, right? And so we're gonna get some unhappy Catholics, of course. So they are mainly here in Sicily and also the new areas, okay, where you have less control. We do have a lot of manpower, so maybe if I put a little bit more kind of research into militaries, something a bit more advanced, right? Might be worth on to build some militaries and start actually placing them under these less stable provinces, so we can, you know, help the populace to be convinced that our way is the right way, whichever way that is at the time. But we are actually converting them, so I think as soon as this is integrated, things will start looking much better. That's the hope anyways, right? Time will tell. So do you have a little bit of gold here? But that will quickly be wiped. You know, if something big comes up, and like a building can easily cost 400 to 600 ducats at this point, and I think I was saving up for one that was maybe 600 or 800. So have a look at the buildings. See if it jumps out at me, right? Tannery was one of the more advanced ones, clearly for the price, of course. Yeah, trading hub 800. I think we already have one in Naples. This one's really good. So if you can get one of these for each of the trade hubs we're working with, that'd be really good. We're here checking on university. Capitano Andolfo Piazza, a fairly important member of our university in Naples, is publicly practicing Catholicism, and his teaching reflects opinions that are hardly in line with Lutheran doctrine. If we do not remove him from his position, this could propel the University of Naples to be a bastion of heresy in the future. I would like to... it's a mercenary. Let's see. We're trying to move to humanism though. Our passage lose 10% estate satisfaction. They are already at 50, so probably don't want to do that, right? It's gonna be a tough one, isn't it? Maybe it's worth it still. Let's have a quick look at the values. How are we progressing towards humanism? Very, very slowly. If anything, it's actually moving in the other direction. Sure, let's keep on that for now. I don't want to be meddling too much with the clergy at this point. We are in the middle of a... up again, waits, yeah. We're in the middle of, converting the whole nation, so don't want to cause too much, ruffle too many feathers unless we can, if we can avoid it, possibly. So we'll try our best not to. How the market's doing. Look at Skopje, it's exploding. It's doing really, really well. We have invested in some of the infrastructure as well, and some of the road systems. That should be resources. What's this? I think probably, okay, so it's tax space for some reason now. Might be one of the malls I'm trying out. Let's do it this way for roads. Yeah, so you can see we don't have too many roads, but I'm trying to connect like these main sources. We have gold, jewels. So I've actually built up like forts in both of these and here, so it's going to be like a holy trinity of wealth, hopefully at some point. And then we have the river all the way down and up to Skopje. But it might be worth actually building a road as well, though I don't know. I think it takes the best modifier, so it's not like something it adds on top. Maybe this is looking at the best types of roads, right? So, because we have just upgraded to like gravel roads, I think it's called. So those are better, right? So if I right click and build roads. So we had yeah, so we got paved now, so maybe these are just the paved ones we have. Well, we still have some, some other roads. Yeah, so you can see there's a lot of gravel roads, but this is probably just showing the paved ones, so we should be seeing one here. Let's see. No, guess not. In any case, we do want to connect these two provinces together, and these two for sure. Like so. Local nobility's power grows. Through intrigue, courts, skillful alliances, and plenty of opportunities, a group of local nobility has built up a strong power base in Rossano. If we do not deal with them now, they may support one of the various pretenders to the kingdom in hopes of even greater influence. Though reducing their power will provide difficult given their influence and the large force of retainers that they maintain as part of their own private army. Can't really afford the stability at this point, and we'll also lose a toll council. That's not what we want, is it? So if you ignore them, nobles are happy. We lose 5 legitimacy, and we're fine with that. We have plenty of that, and it actually kind of progresses fairly well. Right, and then also the second road we wanted. I might be too pricey though, but I'm trying to make this into a hub, right, where trade flows in and out of. So if I build a road, yeah, there's already a paved road that way. Good, good. And if I do it this way, oops, build road to here. Yeah, that's 500 ducats roughly. But that might be worth it, right? So that will give us more flow here. And then eventually I'd like, you know, another road just to go all the way down here, because Skopje is really where all the money is coming through. Question is though, you know, whether we're actually getting more into the coffers from Naples than we do from Skopje due to control, which is horrible over here. So maybe we can build, what is it, barracks or something like that, and that will give us some control, but it will also give nobility a lot of power in Skopje. Which is a bit of a tall order, isn't it? Let's have a look at it anyways. Gunsmith weapon, tannery. We really need some more control. So that will give us like 20 straight away. Only 100 soldiers there, so we can just focus down to those buildings. There we go, I think. Laborers, soldiers. Yeah, so it's just a castle we can build. Interesting. Maybe also nobles want them. Because that's, you know, they're going to be super happy when they get the control, right? No. Okay, well, I don't know what building it is then. I do remember it though, but what it's called is beyond me at this point. Library, saltpeter, dye maker, irrigation brewery. Yeah, because we need to get our claws into all that lovely money coming out from Skopje. So if we switch to market view, do we get more details? Maybe about how much we're making from it. So Skopje has 100% market access to themselves, clearly. Imports and exports. To Venice, yeah, some silks and such. Oh yes, I've been waiting for this one. Maybe this is the one I was saving up for. 200, yes. So the patchy process consists on a method to refine low quality silver and gold ores with a chemical solution based on mercury to catalyze the amalgamation reaction. So that, you know, boosted, you know, gold and silver output by 100%. That's massive. So we're gonna be wanting to build that. I think I need to kind of fix the shortcuts here. Well, for some reason this is Ctrl R for tax base. No, it should be raw materials. I want that to be Ctrl R. It was like that before anyway, so maybe if you go through here somewhere, input bindings, We can switch it up here, right? There's the map one, so hopefully here somewhere. And there should be resources. Give me a shout if you spot it. Raw materials, no, is that it? Control R. Control. It's not doing it for me for some reason. This is strange. The tax base is something, you know, really not to bother about. It's not a map I look at often. It's, you know, because it's all just red at this point, right? This one I look at very frequently. Yeah, it's raw materials. Not unpin. Yeah, it surely is one of the kind of mods I'm trying that's messing with it. So if you find it again, raw materials, click. Please choose the input binding, Control R. Shift R. So I want to keep Shift R for rivers. That's another thing, like every time I restart a game, it doesn't say the keyboard setup. Control T. I don't know why that changed. I have no idea. And probably good idea to save the profile, right? When I have it set up the way I like. So the text space, let's look at that one just to see how it shows up here. The text space, Control R. Warning, this input binding already exists for rename mask painter. Here. Okay, and then can I possibly set it now to Control R? Culture, resources, right? Raw materials. Saw it just a moment ago. Where was it? Here. Control R. There we go. So now we can do. Okay, so you need to clear if it's like placed somewhere else, and then after that it should do it. Wonderful. Okay, so now we know how that works. Alright, so back to what we're actually trying to do. So we just finished researching that building, which we now want to place here. And I think we boosted the silver production greatly here, so I'm hoping this will flow down, you know, to the market and then back down. We also I think there's silver here somewhere. And down here, was it? Or is it close to Athens? No, so it seems like my metal production gems and such are gonna come from this region. Prior Bulgaria and Serbia, which we've, you know, captured for the most part. This is coal. Interesting. It's gonna be good for during this steam or industrial revolution. Alright, so first things first, let's get the gold built up here. So it's gonna be 200, and we need another 200 up here. I'll just start with this region here. Let's get that building down, shall we? Mercury Patio. There we go. Okay, so that should now be built, or in the process of being built here. so we can see it's being built. And I'm gonna put it up here on the silver location as well, because I think I built up a lot of silver production in this region, if I recall correctly. Lots of RGOs, right? Yeah, 3 out of 7. How about this one? 7 out of 7. Alright, so this would be the one then, right? Let's look at the roads again, and the rivers. Skopje's over here. Do we have one over here that gives us silver that's closer to Skopje? That's 3 out of 5. So the cap's much higher on this one. I mean, it's like 2 more, right? If we go back here. Yeah, so this is just north of Skopje. So let's throw down one of these here as well. And then really kind of boost that silver production. Then we'll go straight to the market and down by the river, which will then reach us finally. Mercury patio. And then I want to boost up like this silver production here as much as I can as well. Just for this region. Bring it all the way up to 5. Yeah. Good. So that's a really good kind of progress on that. How are diplomatic situations currently? Remember, I was trying to get up to 100 opinion. Looks like we finally have it. So then we can build a diplomatic structure of some sort. Embassy, I think it is. And then with that, we should be able to actually start influencing them a bit, and then hopefully eventually get access to that market in Alexandria, which is also a coastal market, like just across the strait for us. I think it was maybe 200 ducats. Well, I'm gonna have a look here. Let's look at Alexandria and see if we can build trade office. And there we go. And then I do want that diplomatic building as well. Whatever that one's called. But this will start kind of bringing the influence in, right? And we can actually start grabbing a piece of this market and actually getting some of that to flood over. Because I think Alexandria is going to have very different goods. You have like things like... well, potential anyways, right? Because you have access to the whole continent of Africa from Alexandria. And, you know, Egypt, the straits there. And maybe some gems and whatever else they produce here. So let me look at the general production thing here. It was in Egypt though, so maybe it's worth going right to that place. Yeah, go to capital. And from there, the Cairo, and then maybe you can build it here like a embassy. Yes. Lift the fog off, location, default location. The forefront of diplomacy and the meeting place where representatives of foreign nations conduct negotiations and forests. So potential alliances. Let's do that. Ability ally with foreign power. Ability often prove unruly subjects of the king, seeking to resist any infringement on their autonomy and seizing any opportunity to strengthen their position. This often includes making common causes with foreign powers. Recently, several figures appear to have struck an agreement with Trebizond, which is our rival, mind you, to advocate a pro-Trapezuntine course of action in return for certain favors and promises. Well, not exactly trees, and this behavior is clearly detrimental to our interest. However, bringing them in is likely to prove no easy matter. Guess we'll lose a bit more legitimacy again. We can start pumping out these trade offices here, and that will hopefully open up the Alexandria market for us eventually. We do have naval access all the way around. We're kind of looking into doing the same with Tunis, but we are still their rivals, or rather, you know, from their side, they consider us a rival. 31. Once that reaches 40, I should be able to steal some maps, hopefully. How many places are we doing this in? Building a spy network, that is. Probably 2 or so, given what I'm seeing there. Diplomacy here. Yeah, 2. So that's for the maps, and this is also for the maps in Venice. No, this is for kind of breaking up their vassal collection. Theologians announced the Church of the Two Sicilies. Oh, goodness me. Many theologians had promising careers long before the Reformation reached our country, and the state church of the Kingdom of Two Sicilies was created. Influential people with firmly grounded ideas. These individuals had been difficult to convince to embrace the new nature of the church. This resistance to change has only grown stronger over the years, and now these theologians are perceived to be openly opposed to the church. But to be fair, we are a new church now. We used to be Catholic for hundreds of years, but now we're Lutheran only for the last 50 or so, right? Our people cannot be seen in blatant opposition to the King Nestor Diandre like this. Something must be done. Do we banish them? Probably. I'll make the pastors quite happy, and I think they used to be called something else than pastors until we changed to Lutheran. That's very interesting. Try them for blasphemy in order their execution. They love that the priests don't take 20% estate satisfaction. I'm tempted. Just for the lols. 15 prestige though, that's quite a bit. That's a hefty one. We'll go the middle ground on this. We'll banish them instead. Just too pricey for us. Besides, we're also accepting other cultures and other religions as it is, so it's a bit of a, you know, strong stance to take otherwise. We're fighting in the mountains here. We're very close to the next stage here. New market underway. Our merchants are trying to see the possibility of a new market in Al Hirda. Let's pause that. I want to see what that is. Cabinets finished integrating Toplica. That should help with the rebels. Where is this? Bohemia. Well, that's fine. It doesn't really influence us much, does it? No, this would be the right one. Yeah, that seems a bit odd. Oh, is it in Yemen? What's going on here? New market. Go here. In Yemen? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm trading without a market. Though, it might be within naval range, right? It's actually down the strait here, so maybe we can actually trade down here. This might open up some interesting markets. And they have really good relations with us. That's interesting. Let's actually, yeah, let's see if we can add Yemen here. The market, that is. Just to keep an eye on it. So, economy, markets. Is it going to show up here now? That's Alexandria. We have slight influence. So, it's grayed out currently. Yeah, we do have a trade presence. A slight one, very slight one. We'll just automate it at this point. It's just so little, right? It's not worth money looking at it. So Tabala. I'm guessing it won't show up until like later on when we actually, when you know the market has been built. So we'll have to wait. Yeah. So we'll check back later on that. We'll check it later. So close to hitting the next age, reaching that age of Reformation. Wonder what new things await us then. Alright. I'm actually gonna add also another one of these structures here, because we had so many... Checking the silver mines again. To get gold mines, we have this building here, the Mercury Patio. This one is 3 out of 7. Control. But in any case, it will increase like the flow of silver and to us then hopefully. Yeah, so we have this built. Seven or 9. I mean, this is just a hub of silver, isn't it? So I'm wondering if is any investment, you know, worthless up here if we don't have like control, because I think it might be. And this is in Hungary, so I don't want to bolster their economy unnecessarily. They are huge as it is. They are our allies. Want this really bad, this little kind of thing, and ideally kind of these terrains back from the Ottomans. And maybe at some point we'll be rich and we can trade for it. Anyways, yes. Do we have anything else that we can boost like that? Do we have any silver in our core provinces? By core, I mean on Italy. So none of those. So all of that, like the gold and the silver, it's all in our new lands. How about down south? Is there anything there? Yeah, fruit. Not the same thing. But there was a huge demand for fruit at some point. Oh, gems? No, that's going to be Venice, isn't it? Yeah. God, I want this land. I really do. I need to research some more tech into land, into the armies, for land armies. Just to be able to face off them. I think they are much more advanced than me for that. Maybe with the spy network, maybe we can steal some technologies. I mean, I don't know if it works like in Civ 5, but maybe, right? Because that'd be really good if we could grab some of those from them and catch up a little bit faster. Alright, but getting a little bit sidetracked here by all these wonderful options we have. First and foremost, we do want just to boost the silver production here. So let's add that building while we remember. Mercury Patio. Then we'll just have to kind of, you know, boost the silver a little bit. We're out of money for now. Okay. And that's how you do it. Slowly build up your economy, your production lines, and control, market access, and dominance. It's a whole thing. While contending with diplomacy and wars and what else you can think of, right? Yeah, structure cell, that's the one I wanted as well. I think our queue is quite extensive. So even if we do go into the Age of Discovery, there's still going to be... it'll take some time until we can actually get any of the new things. We have all these researched, mind you, for these institutions. think everybody more or less has it at this point. Besides, like, some people off here to the east. Wily smugglers. Smuggling is an activity that even the most simple-minded can decide to pursue. The only difference between a clever smuggler and a bad one is the latter gets caught. The more worrisome ones are those with a genuine talent for knowing whom to bribe and what lies to tell so they can evade capture. Unfortunately, as smuggling grows more profitable, the number of such men tend to swell. We have been on a trail of a particularly wily band of smugglers recently, and the web of deceit that they have managed to weave in order to maintain their operation continues to surprise us. Oh, too expensive. What, do you think I'm a wealthy nation? Madness. Wow, 1,000 ducats. I mean, you could sell some land, but just to build a spy network by 25% for 10 years? No way worth it. We'll have to ignore them, so they'll get, we'll lose trade efficiency. Those dastardly smugglers will outtrade us every day. We're just too large of a nation and too poor to do anything about it. Okay, yes, so we did grab another region here. Let's keep on this until everything's converted. Not sure there's anything left to convert. Which is gonna be good, because then we can start trying to influence them otherwise. Though our king is so bad at influencing the our cabin with his really weak skills, you know, besides warfare, right? So we'll have to just focus on warfare things for the next 50 years until he dies. Alright, assimilate, encourage, increase. Where's that thing I'm looking for? We integrate something, right? Integrates. Alright, so everything's integrated. Alright. Lovely stuff, finally, after all this time. So maybe we'll crack down on these Orthodox zealots in that case. Let's do that. Rebel crackdown. 221,000. Well, this is down from almost 800,000, so things are, you know, improving. And whom better to go in than the clergyman himself? The Catholic. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some more Lutherans in here eventually. Should probably use this diplomatic power we have. Do you have any economy actions? Ask for money. Yes, 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 yes. Ottomans? No. Kingdom of Poland. We have supported you in the past. At least spiritually. So we'll take a bit of money from you. And then we can... Yeah, we'll keep one behind. It's also good to have one diplomatic envoy available at any time. In case of emergencies, right? Alright, so we're getting close. 38. Waiting for that sweet, sweet 4-0. Oh, they caught my man in Venice. Whatever shall we do? All things looking here for this estate here. How loyal are they to their overlord at this point? 40%. Yeah. They get it down to like 32 at some point, but I don't think we'll be able to break them free. We will have to fight Venice at some point. Just bring in, you know, Hungary and let's grab this. Finally, exciting times. The Age of Reformation. This is the dawning of the Age of Reformation. From east to west, this is the age of religious conviction, debates and mass movements. In Europe, the Protestant churches are entrenched, while millenarianism? Millennia, I don't even know what that is. Takes hold of Iran, and religious syncretism shapes Indian society. So maybe religion should play a larger part in this age for us. So which focus do we want to do, right? Administrative probably, right? Or diplomatic and military. Conversion speed, tolerance, prestige. That'd be something that would be kind of nice to actually start pushing up. Though our king is so bad with all of these. Oh. Income from minting, 10%. 10 plus 20% trade advantage. That's massive. Tolerance, cultural ties, cultural capacity. Ecumenism. The problem with how to deal with heretics in the realm of is almost difficult. Although the good old-fashioned fire and sword approach will solve most problems eventually, diplomacy can also succeed. By encouraging dialogue between the various sects, we can reduce misunderstanding and promote peace in the realm. This might actually be, best for integrating things. But let's see what we get here instead. Tax. I think I'm getting most from trade. Balance. Trade is 65. Oh, it's similar, right? It's a little bit less. Although the common taxes are quite good at this point. So we're actually getting more from tax, which is a problem. We do want trade to be vastly higher than taxation on the people in the realm. Right. So auto checks, tax efficiency, cabinets, efficiency. Yeah, I have enough diplomats as it is. Sometimes the key to closing a trade is the quickest. We need to ensure that our merchants are able to have the deal done. This impacts how much our merchants cost when doing trade. I see. Market attraction as well. So we get more control. Trade capacity 10%. Monthly colonial migration. Now we haven't actually colonized anything at this point. Colonial maintenance. Grand Navy. Navy maintenance. Oh, this is good though. Yeah, so this is like land-based military build-up, sieging and all that good stuff, of which we're doing very little and trying to avoid as much as we can. The navy attrition is very good, but it's, we get so much else for these other focuses. Alright, so it's going to be one of these two, administrative or diplomatic focus. Well, like I said, look at this pathetic king. 0 in diplomacy, 1 in diplomacy and 0 in administration. The massive disgrace, an utter disgrace. Can't be arranged for some sort of hunting accident or something like that. This is just, it's horrid. And he still hasn't produced any heirs for us. Let's see. I wonder if there's any way to replace him early, that is. This might be the best for us, because we are, a fractured nation at this point. Yeah, let's do administration. Lots of areas being discovered. Renewed focus on traditional practices. Our people, lost in a sea of change, have begun to call back to the practices of their ancestors. They seek to better harmonize rather than adapt their communities to the environment. They maintain long-held local traditions, grow a great variety of non-cash crops, and explore medical practices that have been dismissed as nonsense by recent generations. This renewed focus greatly strengthens our communities, but it also encourages decentralized governance and a sense of local independence. We ought to decide if letting the people stick to the ways of old is a benefit or a threat to the states. We do want to move towards a capitalistic society, I suppose, in the long run. But we're like far from it right now. Right now we're just like focusing mainly on raw materials and the population. Yeah, well, many choices to be made. Yeah, we'll keep it traditional for now. Also violation of some treaties. So let's look at the new technologies that's kind of coming around with this Age of Reformation. What kind of things are we looking for? The institutions are slowly spreading, but you know, it'll take its time. But we'll get access to some really interesting ones, I think, eventually. Conversion speeds. So this also gives me some ships. Oh, interesting. How big are these? Galleots. My current ships are the Carracks. I think there's 50 cannons and 25 hull. This would be very good for us though. Decrease the cost of all these roads. And, you know, speed. Oh, trade advantage, culture capacity. Yeah, this looks like the route we want to go for trade. First and foremost. And for culture. So the things we kind of want. This, oh, that's global trade as well. So less expense per trade, so that's more in our coffers. Alright, so I might have to do 2 of these lines. And this is like the warfare branch. And again, we might actually have to do some of these just to be competitive against Venice if you want to grab that piece of land. Currently, I think we're trailing behind quite a bit. Okay, so that's more of a long-range ship. Yes, that's the movement speed, right? Yeah, I think this is going to be much faster than, you know, as a light ship, right? And it's going to be used for maritime presence, first and foremost then. More fort limits again. There was another one in the last stage for 10%. Didn't pick that up because, you know, didn't really see much point to it. I don't think we're anywhere close to, you know, the limits. And we do have Hungary, so we do need to fight. We have a massive kind of power block. These 2 large countries fighting together. Let's fix the inflation here. New laws. New policies are available. Administrative says a feudal administration. Yeah. Can't pick some new ones, but you see the cost in stability is massive. So we're just not gonna do it for anytime soon. Smallpox again. Bubonic plague. $11 million deaths? Wait. An outbreak of bubonic plague happened in Kolhapur. Where's that? So up here somewhere. 4 of 3 is okay by India. And that could, you know, go by these zeros, of course. Country. What are these numbers next to the flag here? Up 11 million deaths. That's massive. So it's going into some African realm. Let's not trade down here for now. We'll hope this stays back south of Egypt. So we have a bit of gold now. Let's spend a little bit more of that, shall we? We were going to build up a bit more influence in the market over here, I think. So we have trade capacity. We need at least one trade capacity to actually do any trades, clearly. So, let's take a bit of a gamble and try that. Trade office. I mean, yeah. I'm building them in Egypt. Does that mean Egypt is gonna get the trade advantage that I'm building up for them? Are we getting any benefit from it? So 0.2 trade capacity and advantage. Yeah, so I need at least one, right? Trade capacity to actually do any trades. And we're currently sitting at 0.43. So 0.4. Okay, so we'll need, what, 0.3? Yeah, it's only 3 of these. Let's build 3 more, and as purely an experiment and see how that plays out. So if you can start trading, if you make any money from it from there on. We can connect these two. Then pricing could become like another hub of trade. But this only goes into a lake down here. But you know, I want to connect Skopje across here. Let's do that. It's gonna be super expensive though, because it's like across the mountains. 700. We'll do it. So that way trade can pass here more easily, and from there on down the river to Skøder. All good things come to an end, so no longer allied with Poland. Not that we've aided them much in their wars, to be honest. Alright, so let's try here, so you can steal the maps. So that's going to be forward operation. There. Where do we want the map? We're looking for new trading partners off to the east here. So that'll be the place. What's Sweden doing down here? That's Sweden, right? 20,000 troops. First army belongs to Verona. It looks like the Swedish flag to me. Verona. Okay. So they walked all the way across here. I guess they're fighting Wallachia. religious civil disorder. Despite the country's efforts to mediate between the different religious groups in our nation, conflicts have been erupting on a regular basis. It's a good thing we went with that administration. Too bad we have a king which is rubbish at it. The situation has worsened, and without drastic measures, we will soon be engulfed in a religious civil war. Oh. Lose 50 stability? We're gonna lose 50 stability either way. That's just terrible. Alright. Eradicate the heretics to bring peace. Or we should strive for a tolerant society. How long are we towards humanism? Here. I think as long as we have, you know, lack of tolerance for the other religions, we're always going to be struggling, like, because we have such a large piece of land we grabbed, and they're not, well, I don't even know what they are now. Let's see, because we used to be Catholic, and they were something else. I think I had the religion thing down here somewhere. Population, migration. We can look for it if I'm not seeing it. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the religion. Religion. Okay. Yeah, so everything is in upheaval. Orthodox. Lutheran. Catholic. Hungary is Catholic as well, so there's quite a bit of influence from there. I wonder if I can get the numbers of the different religions in the country. Just like a... maybe in the ledgers. Maybe that's the way. Religions. No, okay, that's not it. Religion. Yeah, these are more religious actions. Population, people, dynasties, rebels, characters, culture, art. No, okay. So more of a glance sort of thing. Whatever the case, it's like really fractured, isn't it? I think the blue one might be Lutheranism. Or Lutheran. Yeah. Dark blue Lutheran, Catholic is yellow. Orthodox is purple. Alright. So maybe... can we push towards a centralized religion? I think there's some cabinet actions to convert your population to your own religion. But if you do, you know, we have gone out of our way to break free of the church. Not that we can really see too much in, you know, the spiritualism and the humanism. Here. So what's the yellow line and the blue line? What's the difference? Is the yellow the push in that direction, and then the blue one the actual number? Like the larger the bar, the more kind of per month we're kind of pushing in that direction. Because if that's the case, we're already going towards spiritualism. Should we go like super religious and just like form our own faith and forcefully convert people? In that case, you might have just stuck with Catholicism, right? Speed of the primary culture. Yeah, so that's a religious conversion, and this is what the cultural assimilation. Yeah. The question is, do we want religious conversion or do we want cultural conversion? Okay, see, they're pretty much reversed, right? But there's much less like antagonism, and we have been suffering so long for so much because of all these kind of different religions. We'll go for this. More towards humanism. Let's keep pushing that way. Minus 37 instability. We're gonna have to squeeze out a bit of money towards that now. It's gonna cost us dearly. Let's see how much we can pull off. So for some years, maybe we'll just focus stability. Legitimacy doesn't need to be so much. We can just move that down a little bit. Culture investment actually quite high for us. I wonder how we can get this up though. We did go into the administration, so maybe this will actually help with that. Okay, so this is the path, and we'll see what happens from this, right? But it does seem like Lutheranism is spreading somewhat equally. You know, it's a new reform version of Catholicism, of course. The institution appeared in Naples' global trade. Goods have been moved across continents since antiquity. Where this was previously limited to a certain number of routes and goods, such as the manufactured goods of India and China, finding their way across the Indian Ocean and along the Silk Road, our trade is now increasingly becoming part of the greater world network. We want to get in on this. With the discovery of the Americas, sea routes around Africa and crossing the Pacific Ocean, local trade networks are being connected in one world-spanning interconnected web. Silver mine in the Andes is now being boxed and taken via Europe all the way to China and India. Iron mined and wrought in Scandinavia is being sold in West Africa by English merchants, and others are making a fortune just distributing cloth and spices to the Southeast Asian trade sphere. Local Indian merchants are investing in future European trade ventures. It may still be early to speak of a truly global economy, but surely the first seeds have been sown. This starts. So it's available possibly, or starting to spread, but it starts in Naples. Well, really we should be, you know, getting all in on this, right? Global trade, that'll be the one. So 30 stability and 660 gold. It's too bad we just lost 50 stability, but we're gonna get it back quickly. Spend a bit of money on that for now. We have an empty cabinet slot, so let's see what kind of warlike activities we can take. And that'll be converting. We could also, yeah, this could be good to help with the stability. And then we can more quickly get to the other trade kind of research trees in the new era. So So the other one would be to increase control. The thing with this is it seems to be... no, it's just temporary, right? So we get control and then it just flows into the sand like water, from what I've seen. So as a temporary measure, yes, sometimes maybe good, but overall I just think it's not that worthwhile from what I've seen. Right, so this will help us convert people to our culture, which probably will give us core domains, like green ones instead of yellow ones. So I mean, I suppose we could try that for Skopje. But that's the culture one, okay. Yeah, so it's converting to religion, assimilate pops into culture. 60. He's quite good at this. Let's experiment. Let's try Skopje, if you can. Doesn't look like we can. Select the culture to steer towards Neapolitan. That's our main culture. Yes. And we want to put it in Vardar, where we have the main markets of Skopje. And I'm hoping this will help with things like control and maybe turning it into core province. Which hopefully also increase the control. Nefarious means, right? We're scheming here, ladies and gents. We are scheming. Whether it'll pay off, well, who knows, right? So we are really this turmoil. The institution appears in Brescia confessionalism. Catholicism has been regarded as a unitary entity for a long time, but the advent of various Protestant faiths has put an end to that. With the rise of a myriad of different interpretations of what faith should be, Christianity is not anything but united. But where before any deviance from the church could be easily labeled as heretic, now the lines creating the difference have become blurrier, at least. As such, there has been an increasing interest both for religious and secular authorities alike to clearly define the shapes on what their specific confessions, enforcing the particular rules and views on all aspects of faith and life. This allows them a more firm grip on the faith of their population, but also increases the differentiation and thus animosity with all the other confessions. Yeah, so all these seem to be kind of originated around Italy. Exploration, and this is the other one up here. We still have plenty of things to research though, so, you know, it's okay for now, but I do want to get my hands into the exploration one, you know, for faraway trades, and I think that one again had all the ships in it. And we like ships as Naples. Now, we have built up these, so we have trade now of what? 1.3. So can we trade in Alexandria? Was this investment worth it? Let's look at the markets then. We should hopefully see Alexandria here in the list at this point. Okay, we do see it, but... see where it flows. See, it does flow to Naples eventually. To and fro. So do we... I don't know, do we just try putting an order in and... I don't know, unlocking the market? We do not own any location in this market, but we have a trade presence. What does that mean? Of course we don't own any location, we don't have any land there. So we're using 0.3 is unused. So look at the trades. Okay, so we are trading with Alexandria. Although there's Alexandria to Edfu. Are we profiting? Or are they profiting? Who knows? I mean, I'm assuming these numbers are for me. So maybe like we don't need direct access to the market, we can just like siphon off a bit of income and just send the gold back or the ducats back to Naples. Right? Yes? No? Who knows? I'm guessing. Question is though, I mean, aren't we just at this point though better off trading in another market that's a bit stronger and closer to us? I'd really like to get into the Tunis markets. But like with the diplomatic relations as they are, it's... yeah, I don't know if you can actually get much out of it. We are... okay, so Tunis to Skopje. Tunis to Venice. Let's see about... see if we can build some more structures here. So we have 1.3 trade capacity. And, you know, trade capacity is going to be range as well, right? So if trading closer, we'll get more goods and possible income from the margins than if we were to trade with Alexandria, which is much further away. So more of a possibly exotic market for us, as things will kind of flow through here, and up here and into the into Cairo and then into the to Alexandria eventually, because they have access to all this sea area and off to India from here. Torn. So we have 500 ducats. Let's throw in some more market control. Let's try that. So Tunis. Wait. Let's select our country. Yeah, it's more like it. Tunis market. We go in here. Maybe it's better to go into the city of Tunis and then go in here and start building trade things. We must have at least 100 opinion hours. So what's their opinion currently? Yeah, still kind of low. We'll throw one in here. You know, we're trying to sway them over to dropping their vendetta against us. And then we can start doing things. So because of that, we are limited for now, so let's go to the other market again. And instead we'll try to build more things here. Oof. 14 trade offices, huge investments. Hopefully this pays off. Fingers crossed. Otherwise we'll have to cry into the Mediterranean Sea. You know, crying away all the gold that we lost. Cabinet corporation, sharing is caring. I forgot for a moment that we're spending all our ducats on stabilization. And we're going to need a lot of that as well if you want to pick up any of these institutions. If anything, we should really be focused on Skopje, right? But we are doing everything we can at the moment. We're building roads, get connected. So control, lack of control is the main thing, but hopefully eventually when we change, we could also try changing the religion, of course. Might try that. So once we finish integrating Sagor, I'll switch him over. And we'll try to switch their religion to Lutheranism as well. So we have any kind of thing we can to try to push them towards our control. Like culture-wise. Bulgarian culture, Greek culture. The institution appeared in Valladolid artillery. This will make it much easier to capture finally Constantinople. The invention of gunpowder in Song China led to the development of a new device that would employ its firepower in warfare, the artillery. Although it spread throughout Eurasia in the 13th century, its use as a common weapon system did not happen until the 15th century. As improvements in the cannon length and gunpowder recipe made artillery much more powerful. Now posing as a threat to stone-built castles and fortifications, the most common in Europe. Soon artillery would be used not only in sieges but also on battlefields, as smaller caliber guns now featured the mobility required to be quickly deployed and used. Its final deployment as a key warfare system would come in the 18th century. At the end of this game, after the end of the game, especially after Napoleon perfected its use as a key at key points during battle. Here, not far away though, so it is spreading. All these things are spreading nicely to us. Well, the more they spread, of course, the cheaper it will be, both in stability and ducats. So we might be worth letting it just spread a little bit before I actually grab onto one of them. Besides, we're still working on the research we have from the prior age. I think we have still a few left here. We were trying to get iron output. We probably want this too, right? And silver. I mean, we definitely need these two. Copper and tin, you know, any resource kind of production. So which one are we currently working on? Possible government reforms. Heretic in our university. Is that our cabinet member? I think so. It's pushing it down to 40 here now. We're trying to get towards humanism. So these would be the choices for that. We're still kind of progressing towards spiritualism. Should we give up on it? Just kind of go full spiritual instead? I don't know, man. The main thing is just like the problems we have because of all of the different faiths and such. So the other option would then be to change everybody over to our religion to give us more cohesion. Not sure what we're gonna be doing here for the area the province Skopje is in. Alright. Okay, so we're actually starting to make a little money from Alexandria now. It all adds together. And it also helps us diversify, so we might be able to get some interesting goods from there. Yeah, so I just want to check diplomacy, see if anybody has any cash for us at this point. Should probably start working on some more favors then. Maybe the Ottomans. Diplomats exposed, as our diplomats are sometimes engaged in a bit shady aspects of international diplomacy. They have gained a certain reputation. This is now having an impact on our nation's prestige. Oh, 20. Well, at least we're in the plus now, so finally we're actually getting a positive, net positive kind of gain on that. Okay, where do we send this guy off to? Maybe Georgia? What once were whispers of gossip in the court has now manifested in a direct confession of him. He seems to no longer be able to proclaim his faith in the one true God, and to be taking his liking to heresies instead. Well, it's just a mercenary though, I don't really care too much. It must be amazing for me to bother. Oh, he does have really good administration skills. 52 though. Not sure. I mean, we might have to change into noble to be able to place him in cabinet, and he's, you know, that costs something. I think it makes the nobles unhappy for one, and you know, he's too old to be moving towards that. I think at this point. Yeah, towards humanism. So I actually made 2 attempts of capturing Constantinople. I got quite close at one point, but then the war ended, and I didn't quite get there. It was part of another conflict that Hungary was in, and I was their ally. While the nobility is somewhat perturbed at the idea of a foreigner working for the king, our Swabian minister Eugene Tetzel has been widely praised for his bringing fresh ideas and practices to the court. It seems that we can still learn a thing or two from a foreign learning. Wonderful, I should get some prestige back now. But now we're getting a negative. Probably going to come down to some policies, I think, at this point, or laws that we can do. Don't know if there's any structure. Well, I suppose, like, we haven't really invested much into arts, like theaters and those things. So we're kind of getting close to the point now where we actually want to switch over to something from the age of Reformation. It's mainly stability that I'm worried about. We need some more gold as well, though. Of course, that's slowed down because we're spending all our ducats on stability. Oh, 4.25 now. It's, yeah, building those structures is actually paying off. So it will take some years to actually fully realize the cost. or the the gains from the cost of investment. 2.71, we're near the bottom of the pecking order. Be nice to get above Venice at least. And our trade capacity is, I mean, it's much greater than Venice already. So, would we if we can get in second place under the Sheikhdom of Barca? Oh, that might be something, right? Okay, so we get that. We're finally integrated our province, and now we're gonna move this cabinet member over to here once more. We're gonna try to convert Skopje. So we're working on the culture being converted to Neapolitan, and we want to change the religion as well. And from Skopje shall flow the cultural and religious bounds of our ordained ministries and diplomatic power. 20% now already, so it's changing. It'll take a while, but 20%, it's nothing to scoff at. So empty here, and we're gonna try to change the religion. Convert. Well, that's perfect, yeah. Through the blade, we shall convince the populace to believe in the one true faith. Yeah. Actually, this is actually kind of fun. Very barbaric. I mean, that's the way it was back in the day, right? So, let's see if we can do... don't want to be messing with the Sage right now. I wonder how long we can put it off. Because I don't want to risk losing another 7 points of stability right now. Now we're losing money. So something's gotta give. Maybe investment in legitimacy. A little bit less in the court cost. There we go. If we can keep us here, that'd be amazing. There. We just want to make sure we're in the positives. Alright, so... what are we doing? 29 here. I think we lost the spy network in Venice, so we just had the one now in Tunis. Just trying to grab some maps off them, really. Let them do the investing in exploration while I just reap the benefits. Look at the rebels, there's a lot of them now, but there looks like it's mainly smaller groups. Let's see, 99... Oh, Catholic rebels. It's a lot. I mean, again, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. So we might have to spend some time just converting them properly. This will hopefully give me the breakdown of... let's find where there's most of them. And we can start working on those regions, and just kind of, count them off as they go. Alright, so mainly peasants. Catholic peasants where? Franken. So is this region? Alright, so we'll start with these, and then move to the next ones. We're already at 31%. Orthodox. Alright, let me switch, actually let me switch it up here. So cracking down here, we'll just change that. That will convert. Might be a war thing though, converting, right? So that's the culture. Yeah, so we want somebody which is very strong with war tactics. Knocking people's teeth out until they believe in Lutheranism. Or Lutheranism. So I guess he'll just stay doing what he did. converting, assimilating. We'll wait for this one. Yeah, he's half decent, like 41. Look at his grims. He looks like a grim fella, doesn't he? Wouldn't want to be messing with this guy. Bartholomew de Candia, 63. Not sure he'd be serving us much longer, but maybe we can get him in on these troublemakers down here that are still believing in Catholicism and are rebelling because of it. Heretical advice. Pastors are outraged that. Guy we're just checking out. Bartholomew de Candia is employed as advisor to the king. They demand his immediate removal. Things are tough these days, right? So close to finishing here as well. It's kind of funny though, we're going to use a Catholic to convert him to, you know, into the Lutherans. Let me see first before we kick him out. Or do anything, you know, anything drastic. Or we can take a hit of 15 or 10, I think. You know, into the pastor's estate satisfaction. You know, their balance should be somewhere around 50 normally. So it'll slowly, you know, move towards that, the normal distribution. With time anyways. So, and it's not too deep into the negatives. We change the cabinet member. We don't have anybody else. Hold on, I'm clicking at the wrong thing, am I? Change cadre, assign this cabinet seats. Right click. Left click. Yeah, it just looked like we don't have any options, right? So we kick him out, we lose him. We have nobody to take his place, so I'm afraid that's a no. It's gonna be a veto for me. Dear pastors, he will show you. He will show you that he will convert him to Lutheranism, even if he's a Catholic himself, or by God, he will lose his head. So here we are, 39. They're loving it. Pavias asks us if a prince of yours might become their ruler. Do you wish to accept? So our king becomes the new consul of Pavia. Where's Pavia? They must really love us. It's a bit new land, isn't it? It's Catholic, isn't it though? Yes, Catholic. Becomes the new consul of Pavia. If I accept this, he, you know, he better not. Well, will this mean he steps off the throne and we can get a new king? And he'll just stay at the two cities as like a, I don't know, consul, like a court member. He gives up the kingdom. Oh, how did he... Let's save, because I'm not sure how this works. I think it's most likely we just add that, you know, area to our kingdom, which is also fine, you know. Don't mind that at all. So accept. And let's see what happens. Right. The prince becomes ruler. Becomes a new consul. Okay. We have formed union with two cities in Pavia. We will now protect each other when we attack. We have formed a marriage union with two cities, Pavia and Austria. We have that going too. So, he's still in charge, right? Yes, he remains with us. But he's also consul. So, is that like a vassalage? Something like similar to that? I hope this is what a good choice. Little Pavia here. I mean, is this thing right? This is all Pavia, isn't it? It's a bit of land. We got some land up here too. Do we? So yeah, that's Pavia. No idea what they're doing up there though. It's very fragmented. But then again, so it's much of Europe at this time. France has actually become massive. I didn't even notice. They started all fractured as well. Too busy with my little part of the world. Okay, but let's look at... Get more information about what this actually means for us. Does it show up in the government under like... It's not under the states, where would it be? The two Sicilies. Where's that? Is it diplomacy maybe? Relations. That's probably it. Okay, let's see. An alliance with Austria. So we got a couple of embargoes going. Rivals, and this I did this mainly to increase the prestige we have, hoping that will work. Giving military access. We're working on some of these splitting away from their vassals. Bulgaria's casus belli. Wow, good luck with that. It's going to be good if you're capturing a lot of land, isn't it? War score costs, so you can capture much more. Soldiers as a workforce. Oh, okay. Force divert trade, reduce paperwork. Production efficiency, this will be good. Great powers by income. From trade and tax, we are quite far behind here. We need to kind of pick up on this if you want to compete there. So Castile's doing really well. Okay, so we'll just look back here again. And just check him out. Console. Let's find out what that is. What a console does. So it's not quite as the same as being a vassal then, imagine. Let's see. EU5. What is a console? And how does it differ from a vassal? So consul is a subject type representing a semi-autonomous republican dependency, while a vassal is a more traditional feudal subject bound to your crown. The key difference is that the consul are tied to republican governance and provide diplomatic leverage, whereas vassals are territorial subordinates focused on military and economic integration. They are much more autonomous then, so we don't have to worry too much about them. We're more protecting them. But they do generate trade and diplomatic bonuses. Best for managing republican expansion, influence over city-states and diplomatic networks. So the consuls are useful if you're playing a republic like Venice or Genoa and want subject states that reinforce your diplomatic and trade power. That's something you want, right? We want to, you know, influence our trade powers. That's very good. Without destabilizing your republican institutions. They're harder to integrate, but can act as long-term allies under your influence. Whereas the vassals are bread and butter expansion for the monarchies, they allow you to offload unrest, reconquer cores, and later integrate territories into your realm for direct control. That way, like, you know, you make them your vassal, and then in 10 years' time, you annex them. I think they've added a new thing, though, with this current patch, that if they choose to annex you, or rather you annex them, they will get like a conquered kind of trade to the country. So it's not as willful and easy as it used to be. So that will probably influence control and, you know, the general like disposition of the people within that region towards your lordship, your, you know, your reign. I haven't seen it in action yet, though. But we might end up doing that with Empress. Though I have a feeling it'll be more of a direct conquest. So Venice, now it's Empress now. They're no match for us, but they are a vassal of Venice, which is the main thing. Otherwise I would have gone in there a long time ago. Maybe we should declare them as a rival. Blast furnace. Let's get some iron out here. This is kind of good for warfare, isn't it? More expensive method than traditional metallurgy. The use of blast furnace allows to further refine pig iron to cast iron by remelting it with different quantities of iron, steel, limestone, and charcoal. Imagine figuring this stuff out at the time, right? The cast iron made into wrought iron this way makes for an extra material for more complex productions such as cannons. Iron output plus 75. That's massive. Where do we have iron? I'm pretty sure we have some region that produces iron for us, and we want to start putting into that because we're going to be building up an army soon, I think. We're all about the silver, but do we have iron? This iron? There's aluminium. Stone. Maybe we're looking at some... oh. Iron. Here we go. Beautiful. So we got something. Like we have some iron. How big can this go? 2 out of 14. We can blast this into, you know, a massive thing. That's harbor access. That's bad, but maritime presence, we do have ports. So even if we don't have a road, we can still, you know, get that stuff up there into the markets. Alright. Let's see, do we have any other iron? So going over this should highlight all iron nodes. Salt. Iron. Is this the only one? No, so there's a bit of there. Okay. So we do have some, right? But this one, I mean, we have most control here, and it's like on the homeland, so it's a good idea to build this up. This one goes up to 14. Let's look at some of the other ones. 12. 16. This is good though, as well. And this is quite close to... That's Ottomans though, isn't it? Yeah, bloody Ottomans. They still have that. Okay. So we can't use that. But we did have some iron up here, I think. And this is the Venetians, isn't it? Yeah. We really want to capture this. This one, though, is quite close, up to 10, and it's quite close to this, right? Like a new hub for us. And if you look at the roads, I don't think we have any roads from there. We do have the river that goes into Drama. So, I mean, I guess it can go straight to here and then just trade back to Naples. Let's look at the control down here. There's the iron. 39, I mean that's good though. We should start here. Alright, so we'll build it, we'll mass push this. And we will also see if there's any kind of iron structures, right? Don't know if there are any. Clay, sand, stone. It's charcoal, isn't it? Yeah, we need more monies. More ducats. Pay us more, we need it. Alright, but that's something we're gonna try to build up as well then. That will be very important for all the cannons and such things that we are likely to build up. What's this? Colombian exchange. Contact with new foreign peoples from beyond the sea has opened our country to novel crops and animals from these faraway lands and has brought great opportunities to develop trade relations that provide our merchants access to strange and exotic new products. Oh, exciting. Let's open to see what it is. So this is from the old world, this is us. It's from the new world. What do we get? Potatoes. Potato. Maize. Let me sell a bit of corn. A bit of popcorn as well. Tobacco. Chili. Everything's better with chili. Cocoa. Oh, yeah. Need that on a winter's night. Now, how do we get access to all this? Colombian exchange. Start at 1537. Can we see it on a map? Do we need to explore to Colombia to get access to it though? Spread an old world good. We can spread one of our traditional goods to our locations in America, of which we have none, but the locals will not like it. And we need to restart the development of their locations. RGOs. Spread the new old good. We can spread one of the goods found in America to any of our locations, but locals won't like it. Oh. Okay, so it looks like you can then just like change out whatever RGO you have in place. So if there's something that's not giving much, maybe you use that one. And then we'll start getting that good imported to that region and then to our local markets. Never what? Open hints. The new world offers many commercial opportunities. Let us take advantage of them. Alright, Colombian exchange has commenced. Trade and goods will henceforth flow between the old and new world. Recommended actions. We may utilize any of the unique actions through the situations panel. We bolster our profits by introducing new goods in our markets. Let's add this to the pin things at least, right? So control 7. Maybe we're limited to 6. Might be limited to 6. So let's see if we can find it some other way. Through geopolitics maybe? Territory, maritime. Territories. I suppose there's anything that goes all the way to the Caribbean. To Colombia. Colombiana. Yeah, we're all about Africa still. And the North Atlantic. Is there a new thing here in markets? Trading. Situations panel. Is that one of the things here? Pins, agenda, main menu. Where is the situation panel? The situation is what the game uses for most important historical incidents that involve more than one country and or are happening over a period of time. I mean, this is a panel. I'm guessing it's probably going to be here somewhere. Automation. There's the wiki. Ledger. Military, geopolitics, advances, diplomacy, society, production. Situations data. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it looks like England and Castile are the first ones in there. You know, from historical perspective, that makes a lot of sense as well. I just want to see how to open up the Colombian exchange. Show panels history. So okay, so these are considered panels as well. Must be another way to get to it than just through here, because you know, if you right click this by accident, that's gone, isn't it? So that's disaster, situation, same here, right? So there should be a list of all these important situations. Let's Google it. Let's cheat. How to open the situations panel. Hopefully tell me. The hourglass icon at the top. The hourglass icon, you say? As a research, what it would be here, you know, with the timer and everything. Let's see. Find the hourglass, usually near alerts and map mode buttons. So is it at the bottom? Could it be at the bottom? So these are the map modes. It is possible that, like the mod I used to get this kind of wide panel hides that. This seems like an important thing to be able to find in the UI somewhere. Main menu. No, that's not it. Is this it? What if I scroll all the way up? Nick is Nick. Yeah, I think I bookmarked that ages ago. There was a lot of importing, like everybody's moving there for some reason. Oh, they're moving down here instead. So a big place for the immigrants. So I could just remove that for now. I don't think I'll be needing to track that anymore. Like so. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it at all. Because we'd expect to get like a list of all these different important situations, just like be able to see them there instead of relying on these pop-ups at the top there. So it might be F9 as well. It's not F9. Let's check the keyboard shortcuts. So the F keys. Here we are, F. So we should see the situation one hopefully here. Government, economy, production, society, diplomacy, military, geography, advances. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Situations data. Situations, okay. Can we put in F9? Confirm, because that wasn't doing anything before. So let's try that now. F9. Alright, so it's just a map mod, like the situations. But that's not giving me like what they are, right? Naples law reform. So I suppose it depends on the situation you're selecting, you know, what the map mode shows, which is good. But how do I get to the situations? That's what I want to know. How do I get a list of all the situations in EU 5? Yeah, it just talks about the same, like check out the hourglass icon or F9 hotkey to open it. F9 wasn't attached to anything when I started. It's now attached to the map mode, as we could see. EU5 situations page. Let's open that up. So now we're going well into the weeds. We're going to the actual page itself, the wiki. I've seen this page before, though. I do recognize the page they're showing. I'll do open it. Talks about the different types and the things. This is really good data. I'm thinking you probably see this anyways in the game, you know, when these things roll around. How do I open it? How do I get to see it? Opening a situation will change the map mode to visibly show all countries that are affected by the situation. This is correct. So if I open it from top there, this will show exactly that, but how do I get the list to look at all the different situations? That's what I need to know. Because like if I right click any of these, they'll just disappear into ether or ether. And I might never be able to see anyone of them, find any of them again. Another thing as well, so I'm hovering over these, right? So they will actually highlight the menu options, it looks like, to where you can find these. None of the situations seem to be doing that. So maybe, okay, I see, okay, maybe you can't actually discard these, because you see the, you have like left click to open, and then here you have left click to open and right to discard the alert. So maybe this is the way to find them, right? Maybe they're always just up here until they have been resolved or are no longer relevant. That might actually be it then. Okay. Just need to be checking these out more often. Alright, so I'm kind of curious. I'm going to try to... We have the legitimacy and just need a little bit more ducats. And I'll probably pick one of these, you know, maybe input chili or, you know, cocoa. Let's import cocoa if we can. Alright, but it's just, yeah, so that's the only one available currently. Present in one location in the old world. Alright, so it's just one location importing it. So we could have a monopoly on any of the other ones by the looks of it. We could send them wine, make, you know, let the, you know, Colombians, you know, get them drunk and then import all their goods while they're not looking. Alright, so let's do that. Let's save up some money and try this stuff out. A cool new feature. So let's have a look at some locations we kind of might want to switch out then, something we're not using much. Something with, I suppose we want okay control. It's just a resource that's, we have plenty of. Maybe clay. Anything that's not really well developed. The fear of Catholics, ever present in our state, is the fear that some individuals who profess to believe in all aspects of our state church are still secret. Catholicism synthesizes. Oh, we must burn them all on sticks. One noble family in particular, though firmly entrenched in the machinery of the state, is said to have papist inclinations. As the years drag on, these rumors refuse to die and now seem almost impossible for us to ignore. Yeah, we're really struggling on the estate happiness. They're being hit hard from all angles at the moment. Oof. I don't think we can afford 20 estate unhappiness from the nobility. They hold so much power as well. Like 41% power, right? There's a lot of them. So we may have to bite the bullet and move a little bit more towards traditionalism. also slow down the move towards innovation. But it will still be moving that way, so it's not horrible. See the big yellow line here. We're getting kind of, you know, we're about halfway mark. Yeah, so changes with 0.29 towards innovation each month. Currently this towards that, yeah. Try to, yeah. Currently 600 and changing. Oh yeah, so that just moves 5, so it's like a static value. So you should see the blue bar just kind of fall down a little bit. If you pick this one right. Restrict this family from holding office. Nobility loses 10 estate satisfaction. 20 estate satisfaction. The pastors lose 10 estate satisfaction. Already at 41. And we lose religious influence by 10. So you might just want to do this, like, just spread the unhappiness among the states as much as you can, so it's like a balance thing. Not too much influence for any one of them, hopefully. Alright. We'll do this, restrict this, and this should switch us toward traditionalism by 5. So just keep an eye on the blue bar. Yes, click, goes down quickly. Alright, so we now know how that works very clearly. So there's another thing here though with the Senate, that it's we don't want to wait too long, because if they are, if we don't pick anything from the Senate for too long, we'll get, you know, stability decrease anyways. I don't know how long that is, how long we can leave it. I am trying to drag it out, because the odds aren't too much in our favor currently. None of these things are anything, you know. Yeah, so none of these which have any support is anything that I'm really too keen on, to be honest. You know, I don't want to go into this for like 9% support. That's almost guaranteed to fail, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm kind of holding off. I should probably wrap it up soon. Been playing it for a while now. And there's another game I also want to try out as well tonight as well. A bit more action oriented, that one. So I'll have to kind of wrap this one up first and just kind of see how it runs before I try it on stream. Those are the things. And of course you know, you stream the game. You're also like running OBS and all kinds of stuff. So we'll have to see. Alright, so cabinet has finished integrating Red. That's good news. We were planning to put him on to work on these Catholic troublemakers down here, I think. Because this guy is a little bit more kind of war-bound. Let's have a look at it again. Population, rebels, Catholic zealots, right? 230,000. Oh, the numbers are really big though. And it's moving up somewhat hastily. Yeah, so we were looking at the largest numbers first, just trying to like crop off some of them. Let's see, access to goods. Alright, so the access to goods doesn't seem to be too much of a thing. What's this one though? Okay, so that's the literacy section. And satisfaction here. So why are they so unsatisfied? Is it just the religion part? Lacking sturdy grains and fruit. This remains to be a contentious issue for us from the very start. Alright, so let me take this cabinet minister. We're gonna wanna crack down on this Is it this region? Or is it this little tiny island that has 11,000? So 11,000 out of the 14,000. Wow. Also some unhappy people also control there, like 10, okay. We could move some of our fleets here to try to increase like the maritime presence and thus the control, and thus, you know, a bit of pressure on these people. First and foremost, we'll try to convert them. And then we'll also try to increase the access to sturdy grain. We might set up some like manual purchase in Athens, maybe. I have to check like which market they're part of. I think they're part of the Athens markets. Right. Is this the culture? Mm-hmm. And that's the religion. Right. Sicilian tolerance of Catholicism minus 12%. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the culture is such a big part of it. Franking view of Neapolitan, so that's 0. So this, you know, that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. So it's just a religion. We're going to try to convert them. Start with that. This guy, I think, is pretty decent at that. And that should be convert province. Okay, to Lutheranism. Maybe this one. Okay. And then sturdy grain. Let's check the markets. Is this the island that is exporting everything? So what's going through here? Market access loss from transportation over the segment 7.99. Terrain between Abrazia Gulf and coast of this. Can we see what's being transported? If anything. But they seem to be part of the Naples market. Look at that. I was pretty sure they were part of Skopje or like Athens imports from Balıkesir. Okay. So let's focus on Naples then. And we can then hopefully increase the sturdy grain in Naples. 4.19 missing. A bit of fruits. Trying to see the flow of goods here. Just double checking a few things. And then Skopje, that should be going just about everywhere. Yeah, that's a fantastic market. See, it flows down the river. A road network that built is on to pay off down to Skøder. Even like, yeah, even here it's going through. Right, but that's, yeah, that little island thing seems to be connected to Naples. It really does. So if you select the Naples market again, maybe click it twice to get the flow of goods. I think it's like our study grain production happens here, right? So we have been building that up, but that needs to make it to Naples and then back to this little island. Don't know why they're part of Naples. Can we switch into Skopje maybe? Is there a way to do that? So they switch markets. I mean, they will kind of automatically kind of tilt towards whatever market's closest and has most kind of market access, I think. Yeah, so our market access of Kilopia is 42. It's kind of low. I mean, you ideally want it at 50 or higher, even like 60 or 70 or higher, if you want to optimize. But it's, yeah, it's the Naples market. Okay. It's very clear. Yeah, I haven't really dug into this detail before, so it's worth really dissecting it, if you will. Alright, in that case, we need to get these gents a bit more of this fine sturdy grain. It's a pretty high demand. And then fruits, but these seem to be particularly worried about the grain. And fruits. Okay. We have fruit production at home though. So let's have a look. At least the fruit production we can handle locally. We can just increase that. We have some fruit nodes here. They should be part of Naples as well. What's our control? 19. That's kind of weak. Anything closer? How about this one? 24. Okay, so this one's a little bit better. We got 6 out of 8. This one was 5 out of 11. So this one has grassland, so it's probably better land. I think these are hills over here. Yeah, mountains, yeah. So that's gonna, I think it's minus something big. Expand, yeah. Should be negative on the production as well. So we're better off probably doing it over here. Oh, and saffron. Oh, we want to build that up too. That's unique. It's a rare thing to have in the market, I think. So a lot of people will be happily probably paying a lot for that. Yeah, we did spend some time trying to build this up here. Let's check out the roads here actually. Could do with a lot more road systems down here. We do have some gravel roads, I think. We could do some upgraded and more of these roads. Just too bad, like all of our money is going into stability costs now due to that event that took place a little while back. So that's really making things a little bit more difficult for us. Man, I love this game. It's just so deep. You can really kind of dig into it and create these plans. You can play it in all kinds of different ways. Like, you know, your focus can be warfare, this economic, and you know, all of these things kind of tend to tie together. But you can make really intricate plans, large scale plans. I don't think that, yeah, there's no other game like it, I think. I mean, I love playing Civ as well, like 6 and 7 and like some other ones. But it's a very different game. That's also a fantastic game, but it plays very differently. It doesn't have the same level of complexity to it, you know, anywhere near to it. But it you know, like I said, it's a very, very different experience. So we're up to 99 here. Maybe we can just drop some of this here for the time being. Might just do that actually. We can take a little bit of a hit here and maybe get up a little bit of that income, just a little bit. Temporarily. Yeah, let's do this. Crown power. Yeah, so this is really good against the rebels, still keeping this high. As for the, the number, I'm not sure if it's capped at 100. Let's try it out. I want to find out first if it's capped at 100 or if it goes further. Okay. After that, we need to get some money, get some more fruit, get some more sturdy grain. Try and get those pumped into the market so they can get some of that freshness and food. We do have, expenditure into food, so nobody should be starving. Okay, embargoing England. 99. Might as well, we're this close, right? Might as well check it out. Yeah, we need it at 100, this number. It looks like we're not going to be able to get there quite easily. Where are they going? They're swarming. Heavy ships, light ships, what are these? Caravels and carracks. So many though. Where are they headed? I wonder. Check if they're kind of involved in a war. Maybe with Venice, by the looks of it. Is there a war? Genoa war. So Morocco, here is Venice. Genoa, Florence. Looked like it, right? So out of nowhere, suddenly we have all these navies coming from Tunis. You better not be taking these lands that are I've earmarked for myself. Yeah, he's going in there. Okay, so the hope here would be, of course, that not that he takes land, but that he weakens, the army of Venice. So I'm hoping Venice wins, but they lose a lot of manpower. And at the end of it, maybe I'll go in and, try and grab this instead. So let's start the spy network again in Venice. Build spy network. Still just underneath the 100 we're looking at. A lot going on this map, I must say. Okay, I've lost our spy. So I guess we'll just leave it for now. He was just there for the maps, after all. So that's what happens. I was just about to leave to take a little break and then fire up another game in a little bit. But half an hour later, I'm still sitting here planning the next step, watching things play out. encroachment of the nobility in Schroeder, and that's like where the trade is flowing from Skopje, like down here, I think. It's difficult to monitor everyone everywhere at all times, and the boundaries between individual land properties and are often grounded in old traditions or documents which were written when the landscape may have looked quite different. Someone with the right resources, this can be exploited. A number of prominent families of the nobility have used their considerable influence in Naples to get away with expanding their properties in Skåder considerably. If we want to protect the property of the state, we must act soon. Ooh. Always the estate satisfaction being pushed down further and further. It's gonna influence like the taxation as well for us and trade income. Though this might be just like the income they're seeing, of course. But like, you know, we get a part of it, that's the thing. So the less happy they are, the less we'll get of that. So 10 control, how bad is that? Because it might be, you know... Oh, yeah, it's... Gets cutter. Oh, there it is. Okay, 13. I mean... It's not great, is it? Yeah, we'll lose 10 control. You know, this will kind of be pushed up though with time, hopefully, due to the maritime presence. And that's the way it got there in the first place, I think. So we may have sent a diplomat in for a while to actually increase that standing. So, yeah. Might have to do that again then. Oh, we need money for so many things, ladies and gents. So many things. All going into this. 99. Is it gonna take over? Will it? Maybe it's slowing down as we get towards the top of the crown power. Or the legitimacy. So the higher you go, the more expensive it becomes to, you know, keep pushing it, so it's not worth it anymore. I'm gonna ask, actually, is there a maximum legitimacy? A maximum legitimacy you can reach in EU 5. Might be 100, right? It's 100, yeah, it's capped. Hard cap is 100. Alright, so in that case, we can now divert our funds. Yeah, because you know, I've been around that region often, I've never noticed it going above 100. Or do we? Maybe it's an accomplishment. Can we? No. Okay, so we can max our expenditure, but it's only going up to 0.11. So it's not very. It's not going to let us move up quickly to that point, by the looks of it. That's 26, 22 cuts. Alright, so we can do this for like a number of years without suffering too much, and that gives us a lot of income, extra income. So we can fix this. Hopefully we'll get, you know, this will keep ticking here around 0.5. Then we'll get a bit of gold. We can actually start doing some things again, like building up these RGOs for the grain and the fruit and all that stuff. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna save it up here, and maybe I can save it in such a way that, I don't know. You see the RGOs, it reminds us what we need to be doing. Maybe... Wait, there's fruit here? Bastards, we need this. It becomes so clear, like everything we need is right here, there. Okay. Yeah, so just select this little island. Who knows if it keeps the select or not, but we'll keep the map focus on this. So hopefully when it loads back, it will show us this island just to tell us, hey, this is the thing you're focused on right now. Right, so let's save this and leave it at that for now. Alright, well thank you for checking out the stream, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you maybe a little bit tonight or, you know, in the next one. Take care.